Sport is like this. It gives structure to your life and it shapes your mind. You don't think like everybody else. You have a different outlook. Sport helps you get to university, and through it you represent Peru. You get to see other countries, other continents. You get to see different lifestyles and cultures. You see all that and realise you can't stay here. You can't stay in the same place here in Peru. Sport changes your perception.
Eduardo Palas grew up in San Juan de Lurigancho, a neighborhood on the outskirts of Peru's capital, Lima. This populous district is an honest but rough working-class barrio where young boys can easily get into trouble. Fortunately for Eduardo, he found sport. Eduardo is one of Peru's most promising junior wrestlers. The 18-year-old has won several Pan American gold medals in both Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling. He became involved with the sport after his friend Filipe persuaded him to join in a training session at a local gym. That was on Eduardo's 8th birthday.
He told his mum, and his mum didn't want him to go to the gym. But I said to him, whatever, let's go anyway, who cares? And so we went. We sort of escaped. And then, I remember it was his first day of training, and our coach, Carlos Hurtado, saw him. And he asked for all his details, because he immediately saw his potential. You could say that even when he was a little boy, Eduardo already had the body of an athlete.
Initially, Eduardo's parents weren't too keen on him wrestling. They thought it was too rough a sport for their son to be involved with. However, that opinion didn't last long.
I feel very proud of my son, and I thank God for that. All the competitions he's been to, I was always confident that he was going to win. That didn't stop me always worrying about him, though, and the bouts often left me breathless. But I always had faith in him. I was confident, but then I have to say, I never imagined that he would go as far as he has.
Eduardo is the youngest of 3 children. Officially, at least in Dad Armando's opinion, football's the family sport. Had it been up to him, Eduardo would have become a soccer player.
In my family, we have always played football, and I'd say that it's a sport which stirs up more passion. But he was always more interested in wrestling, and we had to respect his decision. Ever since he was a kid, him and his brother watched wrestling on TV. We would catch him practicing in the living room. Sometimes we'd find him injured because he'd set up tables and cushions to do some crazy moves and jumps. Things like that. Kid stuff.
The closest person to Eduardo outside his family is his best friend Filipe. They were inseparable when they were children, and that hasn't changed to this day. Their friendship is the kind that will last forever.
Between me and Filipe, there's a lot of trust and support. If I have a problem, I'll call him and he'll drop everything to come over and be there for me. Likewise, if he called me and said, this and that is happening, can you come and lend me a hand, I too will come running. Like they say, one hand washes the other. Between us, there's a lot of trust. We're always there for one another. He's more like a brother to me.
A couple of years older, Filipe has always been a role model for Eduardo. Now, both wrestlers represent Peru on the international stage, and their success has made a big impression on many boys and girls in the barrio.
All the kids from the neighborhood are proud of us. They're always around, and when they see us, they shout out our names. Filipe, Eduardo. They see us together on our way to train. We encourage them to join in with the training, and we get them to meet with the coach.
2 years ago, the international security firm G4S spotted Eduardo and signed him up to their 14 program. Set up in 2007, the project is designed to nurture and support 14 up-and-coming young athletes from around the world as they seek to fulfill their potential on the biggest sporting stages.
The truth is, it was like a blessing. I feel like I have people behind me with a genuine interest in me. Someone who is looking after me, looking at how I do in my tournaments, my personal life, and with my studies.
During the time that Transworld Sport spent with Eduardo, he visited the Ciudad de los Niños orphanage in Lima. G4S encourages its athletes to get involved with their social responsibility program. Eduardo has wholeheartedly embraced the extracurricular work. However, his sport remains his top priority. Eduardo wants to be the first Peruvian wrestler to win a major international title. A lot of people, including his coach Carlos Hurtado, think he's got what it takes.
He's 18 years old and the process is a clear one. He needs to develop further in order to get to the next stage. We are very clear and precise about one thing. He's still very young, and he is still developing. There's the possibility of him getting to the London Olympics. However, we believe that the real aim is competing at the Olympics in 2016. We think 2012 could be a step on the way to fulfilling the real goal, which is the 2016 Olympics.
Eduardo and Filipe benefited from a local sports program supported by the Peruvian Sports Institute. In recent years, the lives of these two friends have taken different turns. Filipe has a wife and a child, and he has to work to support his young family, but he's never given up his wrestling. Like Eduardo, Filipe is studying at university, and the duo believe that sport has played a critical role in ensuring that they're on the right path in life. And these friends want more children in the area to realise the positive impact that sport can have on young lives.
Here in San Juan de Lurigancho, there is plenty of sporting quality. The only thing missing is more support and motivation. People will say, what use is sport? I need to work, I need to make money. We have to change that attitude with sport programs for young people, because they're losing out on opportunities. That's the way things work in the area. But if you want to get somewhere in life, you can succeed no matter where you're from.